Hello, welcome back to Flute Salad. Welcome to a news video. Now, I don't usually do news videos because I think they're lazy and uninteresting and people make them smell. But we got a lot of news come out which is about Sonic Superstars. Specifically, I want to talk about the interview. Who did the interview? VGC? Whatever that is. They did an interview with Takashi Iizuka, who is Sonic Team's creative director, and I saw a few pictures of this that were posted on Tails' channel, and basically I just wanted to go through and talk about the stuff in this interview. So, Sega's new Sonic game is developed by ARZEST, the Japanese studio run by the mascot's original creator, Naoto Oshima. It's told VGC. So, this is actually really cool. So Naoto Oshima is pretty much the guy that designed Sonic. Because you have people who will be like, no, it's whoever the guy that's in prison now and he was a bit of a dickhead. And then there's another guy who I can't actually remember. Oh, there was the level design guy. There was one guy who's the one that's now in prison. I can't remember. Yuji Naka, that's his name. Yuji Naka did all the physics and the controls for the classic games. There's another person whose name is escaping me. He did the level design, and basically that entire thing was done. So Sonic 1 was the controls for the game, and the level design of the game was actually made before the creation of the character of Sonic, and that was done by Naoto Oshima. So as far as I'm concerned, he created Sonic. He's created designing Sonic and providing the art for the franchise's earliest games. I think his last one was Adventure, but I'm not quite sure. He'll be returning to the series for his first time in over 20 years with Sonic Superstars. Sonic Team boss Takashi Iizuka said in an interview at Summer Games Fest on Saturday that the company had originally intended to collaborate with Christian Whitehead, who directed Sonic Mania in 2017. But plans fell through, so I mean, it's not our place to speculate and say what happened, what didn't happen, but they were originally trying to get work with Christian Whitehead, which I think is really good, shows they wanted it to be like as good as possible. Obviously that fell through for one reason or another, so then they worked with Naoto Oshima, which is great. Iizuka then approached Oshima, who worked on the original Sonic the Hedgehog and other entries in the 90s. That does include Sonic CD, unfortunately. You know my feelings on that game, but it is what it is. To lead the next 2D game with his development team, which is best known for developing titles such as Hey Pikmin and Yoshi's New Island, or Yoshi's as people who correctly pronounce it say. Sonic Mania developers, Headcanon and Christian Whitehead, are not involved, Iizuka confirmed. So they were going to get them, and not involved. They went and promoted whatever their company's called, ARZEST. When we were working on Sonic Mania and the game was finished, and Chris was done, we had a conversation with Chris and the team about what the next... about what the next 2D Sonic game we should be. He explained, we had some concept and ideas laid out between the teams, but couldn't kick off the project, and so it disappeared for a while with Chris and the team. They said, I'm friends with a lot of my old co-workers and was having a conversation with Oshima-san about how we should make a Sonic game together, and if he'd be interested. He's the original creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. I like that Iizuka just being like, yeah, no, fuck Yuji Naka. Original creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. And so we had a conversation about whether his company, ARZEST, that's what it's actually called, I was saying ARZEST would be interested in working on a Sonic game. So there were ideas with Chris and the team that fell through. Sonic Superstars is really developed by ARZEST, but Sonic Team Japan is also working with them on design and some elements. So originally we thought, Sonic Team were the main developers. Actually turns out ARZEST are the main developers, and Sonic Team are just helping out here and there, similar to what they did with Dimps with the Advance and Rush games when they were being made. ARZEST and Oshima-san are 100% developers of the game, so the actual main meaty bit of the game itself is ARZEST and Oshima. Sonic Team would just come in here and there for different things. Iizuka explained that he feels he can trust Oshima's team because of his valuable experience working on the original Sonic games. Oshima is best known for the creator of Sonic's character design, but it says Izuma, is that supposed to say Iizuka? Iizuka said a few people know that he actually designed many levels too. Oh, well, I was wrong with that thing I said earlier then. He designed many levels. what Oshima-san really brings to the classic Sonic experience is having worked on Sonic 1 and Sonic CD. He has an understanding of how to make a true classic Sonic game apart from Sonic CD, and so actually, you named the 2 worst classic Sonic games there, but it is what it is. Oshima is the GOAT. A lot of people think Oshima just came in and thought what Sonic could look like and drew a character, that was it. But he was also doing levels in Sonic 1 in addition to drawing and creating the character. So he has that experience of making a Sonic game because he did level design for the original game. I didn't actually know that. So that's good. And now we get on to my personal favourite bit of news for this. In addition, Iizuka revealed Sonic 3 composer Jun SENUOE will be leading the audio on Superstars. Now, Jun SENUOE, I don't know why they put Sonic 3 because that's the worst thing he's composed. More better known for Adventure and Adventure 2 and Heroes, and I don't know who did what's it called, Secret Rings. He might have done that, I don't know. He did do Black Knight, he did Team Sonic Racing, he did Shadow, and I know he helped out with Frontiers as well, but he wasn't the main composer of Frontiers, but he did help out in some places. He also did do Sonic 3 and Sonic 4, which are the worst things he's composed, so I don't really know why they brought up Sonic 3, but it is what it is. When we talk about people who are still around who worked on classic Sonic games, there are not a lot of people who are actively created games left over from the original, left over from that really small group. But there are 3 people, myself, Oshima-san, and the third is Jun SENUOE at Sega, who did music for Sonic 3 back in the day, and the other ones I just mentioned, which have a vastly superior soundtrack. I think Sonic and the Black Knight has the best soundtrack of any game ever, so we win. He's also participating in the development for Sonic Superstars. Jun is the music director of the game and is really focused on making it sound like a classic game. Now, if you know his experience with him trying to make things sound like classic games, you know, the Sonic 3 soundtrack, especially one that was used in Origins, he's not the best, but, you know, we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. It is what it is. But obviously he's not sat around creating all the music himself. He's working with internal teams at Sega to create that classic Sonic vibe. He's also working on some external teams, such as T-Lopes, who helped out on Sonic Mania. So confirmed, Jun SENUOE and T-Lopes, as far as I'm concerned, the 2 best Sonic composers are working on the soundtrack for this game. So we win. Sonic Superstars let players control the other Sonic Tails, Knuckles, Amy Rose, and Fourth. And for the first time in the Sonic game, there'll also be co-op support for 4 players. The game will release in fall 2023, both digitally and physically, so I don't know if we had confirmation it was released physically as well, but it's releasing digitally and physically on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, and that is the thing. So basically, though, this is overall good. So we're getting confirmation that good sound people are working on it, that good design people are working on it. It's not actually entirely led by Sonic Team, which is interesting, because we thought it would be, but it's not. Yeah. So, I think overall this is a nice interview. I think it was definitely the right decision to get those people, you know, involved with it, and the soundtrack and stuff. But yeah, this is good news, and I like this. As I said, I don't usually make news videos, so I won't do another one unless some big news comes out, but yeah, things are looking good.